No, absolutely. And look, I know you have to talk to a lot of people, so I want to get a couple questions in real quick.
Sure.
And you're bringing up your run, Monday Night Wars, Attitude Era. It's it's a just an era that I don't think anyone ever thought that it would get this massive. But look at what's happening now. The WWE from Australia to Philly, all over the world, selling out. Monday Night Raw, SmackDowns, everything going through the roof. Hell, professional wrestling is on TV 6 times a week at least. It's insane. I mean, even
It's crazy.
Super Bowl week, Cody and The Rock, that situation was being talked about more than the damn Super Bowl game. To you, could I have you compare the eras?
They are very comparable. As a matter of fact, I did a video. If you want to see it, go to my Instagram, Diamond Dallas page. It's also my athlete Facebook. But I had to speak on it because I was getting bombarded from my buddies and fans and people who want to know what I thought of it. And I was in Jamaica at the time, and I had watched the slap scene around the world. And the fact that The Rock was turning heel to get there, because there can only be one baby face when you're in that spot. And him coming in, I mean, The Rock is such a classy cat, man. And you don't know what's real. And I wanted people to know this. Like, you don't know what's real and what's not. And that's when you blur the lines. That's when wrestling works at a different level. The beginning of my little 7-minute video, I'm showing all the stuff where Scott Hall shows up, and then Kevin, then Bischoff gets thrown through the stage, and then Hulk. You think he's going to do the save for Randy, but then he drops a leg on him, and he starts. It goes from the Outsiders to the NWO, and it was the hottest thing ever. And I was lucky enough to go through a build through it and be ready when it got white hot. And I would have never thought that would happen again. But in a different way, it's happened again. When I was watching from Jamaica, there, this what I would call a press conference, but it was an arena with like 15,000 people, like blew my mind. And then how they did with everybody bringing all the different, the shining stars of the superstars of the WWE out. And then here comes friggin' Roman, and then The Rock, and then Cody, and then Seth Rollins. I mean, man, I always say shit gets real, real fast out there. And when it does, it's magical, man. It's magical. And I love what they're doing. Anybody who's listening to this, go to my Instagram or Facebook. The one will be right before this. You talk about stuff I do outside of wrestling, the Butterbean story. Have you seen the Butterbean
Of course.
video yet?
Of
I
course.
mean, so powerful, man. And so that's up there if anybody's not seen it. And to see, like, that's what my program's all about. It's about taking the elite athlete to a different level so that they, preventative maintenance so they don't get injured, and to the athlete or the regular guy or girl that's injured and in so much pain and they want to get out of it so that they can, pick up their kids or their grandkids or whatever. And to see Butterbean go through that transformation, like I watched it with Jake and with Scott, now Marcus and Scotty Riggs. It's just an incredible time for me right now because it's all happening at one time. And Cody would be like the cherry on the top to be. It's going to be emotional, not just for me. It's going to be emotional for so many people. I don't know if you saw it, but before I ended up in the press conference, I I saw him coming down the line. Of course, he's the ultimate babyface. He's doing the pictures and he's doing the autographs, and I just jumped over the railing. Nobody stopped me. And when he
Damn
turned
right.
around, I was right there, and we had the bro hug, and it was a moment. And then when I sat down next to Chris Van Vliet, and he had said to me upstairs, he said, "You know what? You got to come, because they gave me one of the little bands, right, for the press conference." And he said, "You got to ask the first question." I'm like, "Yeah, right." And next thing I know, they hand me a mic and go, "You ask the first question." I'm like, "I don't have a question for him." But now I listen to him talk, and now I got a question for him. You know, the people who had been on the ride with him all this way, from the dashing Cody to the Stardust, and like it did not look like he should ever be in this spot if we go back 5 years.
Did he think that he would in the conversations that
Yes.
you had back then at the time when he was making his name and said, "Hey, I have to leave. I have to do this on my own in my own path." Did he think that still, or how difficult was it for him in the conversations that you guys had?
You don't know if you really can, but if, like I said earlier, if you believe you can, and this kid got a work ethic that is second to none. Rock, same way. You know, Triple H, same way. Me, same way. Those are guys I know put an incredible amount of work into what it takes to get there. And he saw it. And I just back it up because when you saw what he did with AEW, I mean, that was all the four guys, you know, bringing the Bucks and Kenny. But Cody was the workhorse. He's the one who was writing the TVs. He's the one who was putting it all together. And, you know, it was really, I'm sure if Tony could go back in time, he would change. But Cody wasn't going to make his real name there. We had discussions about this. He had to come back. He had to be, like, this story has been a story that's not just made up. This is like what I'm saying. It's real. It gets real fast. And it blurs the lines again because they don't know what's real and what's not. But you can see Dusty being the champion in Madison Square Garden and like Van beaming, and then no, bing, 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 bing. And they pull it, you know, so they give it to the people and they take it away. I don't think they could take it away this time.